Hello and welcome to another edition of BereaOnline Live. I'm your host, Chad Hembree, and joining me today we have a very special guest, the newly elected council member, who is actually a re-elected council member, Mr. Ronnie Terrill. Now, Ronnie, we have you on here. We gave every one of the new council members last term a time spot on BereaOnline to get on here to kind of thank your viewers and your voters and to tell a little bit about yourself, to remind people about yourself,
All right.
in addition to maybe some things you want to accomplish this year.
Okay. Actually, for everybody who don't know, I'm Ronnie Terrill. I lived in Berea all my life. I retired from Lexmark. I've spent almost 39 years with it. I run a little farm out on my grandfather's farm out on 21, and I hope it stays a farm. I'd sell my development rights if I could to keep it a farm. But I do want to thank everybody that got out and vote. Even if you didn't vote for me, I appreciate you getting out and vote, and I wish we got 60% out instead of 30%.
Now, tell a little bit about you were on the turn before.
I was on it before.
And you were a close finish in that race.
Right. I come in ninth, and I lost by 12 votes. And then, sorry about Mr. Baker passing, but he passed before he took office. And the city council then decided that they didn't want the next one in line, which was just like smacking my 1,472 people that voted for me, saying, we don't care about how you voted. We know better. So they chose Glenn Jennings, and Glenn Jennings is a good guy, but he didn't run. That's where right to wrong come in to play. And because apparently a lot of people thought that they should have got the next one in line. And I really felt that way. Even if it had been somebody else, I would still felt that way. So they didn't do it. But I'm back in.
Well, the first council meeting, I got tickled with Virgil Burnside.
And I appreciate Virgil, and I appreciate all the city council members that acknowledge me coming back.
You have several ideas of things you wanted to see accomplished, and one thing though, let's just say it. You talk about it, but let's just say it.
Right.
You didn't think there was a lot wrong to start with. You think that there's more problems being created than.
Absolutely. I think I've never seen the city as divided as it is right now, and I'm hoping that we can get past that. I'm really hoping we can, because I think we got more important things to work on, especially if you look all the empty businesses up on Chestnut Street. And of course, we've got this new economic development plan going on, which I hope everybody comes out and supports, because I think it's going to be very critical for the next 10 or 15 years for Berea. So we'll see what happens there.
Now, do you have any pet projects that you kind of have special interest in, or?
I really do. I think try and get foot traffic into Berea, and I really think we, as a citizens or council, need to come out after the first year and say, look, based on the consultant that we've got going on, he says we need to buy local. I think the city needs to come out with a proposal that says, or whatever you want to call it, that we buy local everything we can. And I'm talking about our insurance. Instead of having somebody in Knoxville, Tennessee, being our insurance agent, get somebody local, especially if you're creating a job. And with the volume that we've got up there, we might be creating a job. So I want to buy local, everything we can. Now, I understand some big projects and stuff, we can't. So that's one thing I want to take care of. The other is, our consultant was talking about that our restaurant tax is not being spent very efficient, is what I took from the meeting. I think we need to go ahead and come out and pass an ordinance that says we set half of that money aside for parks, trails, or community center or event center, whatever you want to call it. And we tried to do that in the past, and it got ignored. In fact, we actually passed it. And we really did, and it got ignored. So if we need to put it in an ordinance form where they go with it, then that's what we need. Now, I hope we do that after the first year. And the other thing, one big thing, they come up, they talk about the bypass being a priority. to me, the biggest priority that we should have in roads is the out to the new school, Menless Road, because they're supposed to start up come Monday with a new school out there, and that road, as narrow as it is, we may have some problems. I hope we don't, but we might have some problems. So I really think we need to expedite that any way we can, even if we have to take money from one project and put it over on that. I'd rather do that and make sure that our kids are safe than putting bypass in.
Now, will they let them use the Mayday Road around?
They will.
Well?
They did, and I'm going to give the city and city council credit for getting the railroad crossing. They've got a sign or arms there now, so it's supposed to flash. They will be able to do that, I think.
Okay. So that was the concern, that there weren't the arms there,
right?
Like the one,
especially when we had a fatality there last year or the year before. That really was a concern.
So maybe with two okay entrances, it'll do better than.
I hope it does. I hope it does. And if they do start that bus route out there, I do encourage anybody driving that road to be careful.
Now, what about the other direction? They're not allowed to go across that wooden bridge, are they?
No. I'm not sure on a school bus. I'm not sure on a school bus. I know a tractor and trailer can't, because of weight limits, but I'm not sure about a school bus. I don't believe I'd want a school bus crossing it.
Well, I'm not sure that the bridge is so bad, except for that curve going in.
The curve is bad,
yeah.
But the city does have a plan. They're in the process of buying property to extend Mayday Road over to that Menless Road, and if that happens, they're going to take that bridge out, I think, and I do not have no problem with that.
Yeah, I think that would be a good growth thing.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Ronnie, it's a pleasure having you on here. Congratulations.
I appreciate it.
Re-election.
I appreciate your channel for having the people on there. Voice of Review.
Well, thank you very much. We try to keep everybody in.
And I encourage everybody to go out to BereaOnline.com and look at it, especially since he's going to have me on there.
Yeah, so that's a good reason.
That's right.
Well, thanks again for being on here, and we look forward to this year's term and want to see a lot of good things come out of the council.
I appreciate it.
All right. Thanks a lot for listening. This has been BereaOnline Live. I'm your host, Chad Hembree, with Councilman Ronnie Terrill.